I can see a small house.
I see a small house. Very good.
With green mountains around.
Mm-hmm. Is this a small house or a large house?
It's a small house.
Mm-hmm. What's around the house? What do you notice?
It's a slightly elevated house. Steps going up.
So let's go up the steps now and see how you get inside this house.
It's got a wooden door.
Mm-hmm. So let's open that door and go inside. Tell me, what's the first thing that you see?
I see a yellow couch.
Mm-hmm. Yellow couch.
It's a very small room.
Mm-hmm.
Small kitchen.
Is this a modern house or an old house?
It's an old house.
Old house. Very good. And as you're looking at this house, do you feel that you have a body there? Look down at your feet. What do you notice?
Yeah, I've got a body.
Mm-hmm. What do you notice first?
I'm not wearing shoes.
Not wearing shoes. So describe your feet for me. Are they large or small?
They look large and wide.
Mm-hmm. Wide? Are they male or female feet?
Feels like male.
Male. Very good. So as you're acclimating yourself to this body, see what the rest of your body looks like. Almost as if you can wrap your arms around this body. Notice how you're dressed. What do you notice first?
I think I'm wearing overalls.
Overalls. Mm-hmm. What else do you notice? Put your hands out and look at your hands.
Yeah, big man hands.
Mm-hmm. Big man hands.
With hairy arms.
Mm-hmm. What does your face look like? Touch your face.
Short brown hair.
Mm-hmm. Brown hair.
Roundish kind of wide nose.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any facial hair?
No.
No, very good. How long is your hair?
It's short.
Short, very good. And I'd like for you to just take a moment and tell me how old you are there.
About maybe 32.
32, very good. Very good. Is this your home?
Yeah.
Very good. So let's find out a little bit more about your home. I want you to close this scene and be at a scene when you're eating a meal at this home. Be there now. Where are you?
I'm on the kitchen bench.
On the kitchen bench. Mm-hmm.
Eating alone.
Take a look at what you're eating. What do you see in front of you?
Looks like some meat and potato.
Mm-hmm.
With some broth.
Mm-hmm. With some broth. Very good. And as you look around, you don't see anyone there with you?
Maybe my wife and one child.
Mm-hmm. So I'd like for you to just use your senses and bring them into the picture. What do you notice next about this family? Do you feel alone?
I feel like I might work a lot.
You work a lot.
So I don't feel as connected.
You feel disconnected from your family. Very good. So let's find out a little bit more about what you do for a living. Let's close this scene now and let's move ahead to the place where it is that you work. Be there now. Where are you?
I'm on the farm.
On the farm.
On a kind of a like a tractor.
On a truck?
On a tractor.
On a tractor. What color is this tractor?
It's green. It's big vehicle.
And take a look and see if you work alone or if there are others there with you.
Seems like others on the field.
Do you work for someone or do you work for yourself? Whose farm is this?
I can't tell.
I want you to use your knowing. Is this your farm or do you work for someone else? You'll feel it.
I think someone else.
Someone else, very good. So as you're on this tractor, I want you to just use your feelings and tell me, do you like what you do?
It's tiring. Long hours.
Long hours. Anything else?
Maybe a bit depressed.
A bit depressed. Very good. So let's find out a little bit more about your life. We're going to close this scene now and go to a very special event that is happening in your life, in that life of this farmer. Take a deep breath in and be there now at this special event. What's happening?
It's like a wedding.
A wedding.
It's kind of outdoors with wooden floors and there's lights and everyone's dancing in the middle and I don't know whose wedding this is.
So I'd like for you to look at the way you're dressed. How are you dressed today? Look down at your feet.
I have black shoes on, brown pants and jacket, brown, kind of a brown suit.
And look around and see if you're by yourself or is there others with you?
Oh, there's heaps of people.
Yes.
Maybe about 60 or 70 people here.
So I'd like for you to check in with your emotions. How do you feel at this gathering, this wedding?
But neutral, like
neutral. Very good. Now, before you notice that there was a family, do you notice a family with you today?
Yeah, I had a little girl.
A little girl.
My daughter.
Can you see her clearly?
I can see her little baby pink dress. Curly hair. See, maybe around 2 or 3 years old. Maybe 2.
So take a look at her eyes. The eyes are the window to the soul. Do you recognize those eyes in a lifetime of L? Do they seem familiar?
My mom comes in mind.
So as you recognize that soul, you'll understand more. You'll understand the connection there. So let's find out who else is with you. Who else is there?
Well, we're together, my wife and daughter.
Your wife and daughter. Take a look at your wife's eyes. Do you recognize those eyes in the lifetime of Elle?
I think my sister comes in mind.
Very good. Is there anything else that you notice about this event, this day? No?
No.
All right. So let's close this scene now, and let's move forward to the next important event of this lifetime you're experiencing. What happens next? Where are you there?
Lying down in the bed.
Lying down on the bed. How old are you there?
I'm in my 50s.
What's happening on this day? What do you feel?
I feel like I got a broken foot. Left foot is in plaster.
How is that making you feel?
It's a little bit sore and just feeling down.
How is this affecting you? Your life? Not being able to work?
No, it's hard. My wife and just upset, crying, holding my daughter.
Is there anything you could learn from this scene, this moment?
I wish I could do more.
All right, very good. So let's leave this scene now. Let's go to the last day of your life in that lifetime. See yourself on the last day of your life. And tell me where you are.
I'm in like a rocking chair in the front of that house.
How old are you?
I think about 65.
Are you alone or are there others with you?
I'm alone.
So check in with your state of health. How are you feeling?
Fragile.
What's happened in your life? You can understand your life as a whole now, from this perspective. How has your life been?
Pretty hard.
What's happened with your wife and daughter?
They left. Yeah, it seems like they left when it got hard.
How does that make you feel, knowing that you couldn't provide for them? Just understand what has happened.
I couldn't provide for them.
So I'd like for you to move forward to the last moment of your life and take your last breath and release that spirit from that body. Releasing it and letting go. And as you leave that body behind, you will understand this lifetime completely the dynamics of it, and what you were meant to do in that life. What was the purpose of that very difficult lifetime as a farmer? What was that life all about?
I can just see myself on a bed, but I'm floating, and I can see down on the bed.
What's left of you on that bed?
Just an old body. But died of just natural death.
And from that perspective, you could understand the dynamics of your wife and your daughter in your life. What happened in that lifetime with those? What did you learn from that?
It's okay. It's okay not to be able to I did as much as I could.
Do you feel that you did your best in that lifetime?
And it's okay if it didn't work out.
Okay, so I'd like for you to continue on your journey, and let's see who meets you next. Who meets you from the other side?
I feel one light being.
A light being. What do they say to you?
We're going somewhere. I don't know where we're going.
All right, so tell me everything that you experience along the way. What is this place where you're going?
It just feels it's just very light, very bright.
Mm-hmm.
Can't really see much. It's just very bright.
Very bright. And I'd like for you to notice how your body looks in this place of travel. What do you notice about your body?
I'm not in human form, but I'm not a light body either.
How would you describe that?
It's almost like a transparent body.
A transparent, right? Does it have a color?
It's like a human body, but transparent. Like it's faded.
Yes. And this being that is helping you, what do they look like?
They're light.
They're light.
Yeah,
Any particular color light?
It's yellow, and it's kind of oval, long, like elongated.
Very good. What does this yellow color signify in this light being?
Love comes to mind.
Love, very good. So let's see where you go next with this being. Where are you taken? What happens next? What do you notice? What is this place like?
There's a few beings maybe sitting behind, like it's a long table almost.
Mm-hmm. Are you indoors or outdoors with this table?
It's in this light.
In the light. Very good. What do these beings look like? What do you sense from them?
It's a larger light being.
Larger light beings?
And then there's in the middle, and then there's other ones, smaller ones on the side.
I'd like for you to connect your energy with theirs. Do you feel that they're familiar?
The Counsel comes to mind.
The Counsel, very good. So what does this Counsel say to you? Everything is telepathic, remember that.
You did well, dear.
You did well. What else? What is the purpose of this meeting today before this council? Why have you been brought here?
To go over the previous life and discuss that.
So let's find out what happens.
I've got that one light being is right beside me. Where I'm standing in front of these other beings. And they're asking me what I thought about that life, and
what do you tell them?
I just say it's a hard life. It was a hard life, and I did it as much as I could, and didn't work out the way I planned it.
What did you want to get from that life?
Like happy family.
Happy family. But it seems to me that your happy family was not. It was detached.
I wanted to be peaceful, happy family, but didn't work out.
So what are you planning for in the next incarnation? What does your counsel tell you?
Oh, they're just asking what I want to do.
What do you tell them?
I want to try again. And aim for.
All right.
Aim for the happy, peaceful family.
So let's find out how this planning goes. Do you choose the family members during this meeting? Do they step? How do you choose your family?
No, I don't think I choose. I think they choose to come with me.
They choose. All right. So let's find out a little bit about when that happens. Does this happen during this council meeting or at a different time?
It's later.
Later. All right. So what do you need to get from this council meeting today?
Just kind of offload and and tell them about my plans.
Okay.
They're just here to support what I decide.
Mm-hmm. Does this counsel follow your progress throughout your lifetime when you have a body? Or only when you are in between lives?
I think just the guide.
Mm-hmm. The guide is with you?
The guide follows how it goes.
Very good. So let's find out when you begin the planning for the lifetime. I'd like for you now to go to that moment in time in which your family members are chosen. Where are you now?
I'm in a room full of spirits.
Mm-hmm.
They all seem very familiar.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still in my human form.
Mm-hmm. That's fine.
And we talk about who wants to come along to this life that I'm going to be living.
Mm-hmm. Do they step forward as volunteers, or do you choose them?
I think it's a bit of both. Some just volunteer, and I'll pick a couple.
All right.
They're in my soul family.
They're in the soul family.
There's heaps. There's more.
Mm-hmm. And as you are able to connect with each one of these family members, you'll be able to just know your connection with them in other lifetimes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So as you look at this lifetime with these individuals, let's find out who else is in this life. Perhaps the family in which you're going to be born into. How are the parents selected?
We have a discussion and they decide to come down as parents.
Mm-hmm.
And also the siblings.
So now that we understand this whole family dynamics and why this soul is choosing them, what is the purpose of the incarnation now as L? What is it that this soul has come on earth to do this time? What is the soul's life all about? Is it working out something from another life? No. What is the reason for this incarnation?
To help spread positivity.
Mm-hmm. And how is she going to do that? How will she be spreading positivity?
By being an example.
Ah. So the message to the world would be her life, the way she lives it?
Yes.
Very good. So is she bringing with her any gifts or talents from any of these lives? Take a look and see what she brings with her.
A life in Egypt.
A life in Egypt. All right.
Coming up.
So let's find out all about that life in Egypt. I'm going to go ahead and count from 5 to 1. When I get to number 1, I'd like for you to see yourself in that life of Egypt. Begin now by taking a deep breath in to propel you back in time. 5. Drifting through time and space, looking for that lifetime in Egypt. 4. Drifting and floating to that moment in time that you need to see. 3. Allow the images to begin now. 2. Getting clearer and clearer, acclimating your body to this time. And 1. Be there now. Where are you?
I'm very close to the pyramids.
Very close to the pyramids. Do you have a body there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Young girl.
A young girl. How are you dressed?
It's old clothing, ragged, no shoes, playing in the dirt.
How old are you there?
About 8.
8. Very good. So look around and tell me, do you live in this place?
I live in like a little shack.
You live in the shack? All right, let's go to that shack now and see who is there with you.
I live with my mom. She's on the floor, working, doing something. Something cooking maybe. Like a big pot, stirring it. It's very small place.
A small place. What do you notice the most from this place?
No, it's just very... There's not much here. It's just dirt floor almost.
So I'd like for you now to listen for your name. What does your mother call you? You may even be able to see the letters.
Sabana keeps...
Sabana?
It keeps coming in.
All right. When I say the name Sabana, does that resonate with you?
Yeah.
Very good. So Sabana, I'd like for you to just tell me what's happening right now in your life. How are you feeling? Are you happy?
Feel lonely.
You feel lonely.
It's just me and my mom.
What's happened to your dad?
I think he died or he got murdered.
And you'll understand how that feels. And you can connect with his soul. And if you've known this soul in different lifetimes, you'll know who it is.
What's my dad?
Very good. So let's close this scene now, and let's move to another important scene in that lifetime when a special event is happening. Be there now. What's happening in your life?
I keep feeling like I work with my hands.
You work with your hands. All right, so focus right now on your body. How old are you there?
18.
18. And look down at your hands and see what it is that you're using. What do you do with these hands? Notice if you're alone or with others.
No, I'm alone.
Mm-hmm.
I think something to do with crystals.
Mm-hmm. So acclimate yourself into that moment and see what tools you're using. Look all around you.
It's almost like activating crystals.
You're activating the crystals.
Next to the pyramids.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So I'd like for you to just feel the energy. Are you activating them with your hands?
I'm holding my hands on top of the crystals.
Mm-hmm. And tell me what happens.
I feel like the crystal lights up.
Uh-huh.
And I kind of expand the light
Mm-hmm.
with my hands.
What do you do with those crystals after you've activated them? Let's find out what you do with them.
Something to do with the corner of a pyramid, like the outside corners.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and tap your forehead, your central eye, your inner eye, and I want you to see yourself doing that now. What do you do with these crystals? Where do you put them?
I put it on the corner. It kind of shines a light onto the pyramid.
Mm-hmm. What is this light used for?
It's almost like it anchors the pyramid.
Mm-hmm. Very good. How many crystals do you use to anchor this pyramid?
We do one for every corner.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Do you work alone, or are there others that work with you doing this?
It seems like there's a couple others.
Mm-hmm. So I want you to just get the feeling of how you feel when you work with these crystals.
I enjoy working with them.
Very good. Very good. So let's close this scene now. Let's move ahead to when you're older and you're using the skills of that lifetime. Be there now. What is it that you're doing?
Just checking the pyramid, checking the crystals, making sure they're functioning and doing what they're meant to do.
How old are you there?
About 25.
Very good. Very good. So I'd like for you to just expand your vision of that lifetime. You'll be able to see that lifetime completely now and see what happens throughout that life. What do you work with? What are the skills and talents that you use in that life?
I also replace the crystals after not functioning.
Very good.
In my 50s.
In your 50s, very good. Very good. So now I'd like for you to just separate yourself from that life and allow yourself to be at the council at the end of that lifetime. Look at your body there. And tell me what happens.
I'm more like in a light body now.
Mm-hmm. What was the purpose of that life?
It was to do. The purpose was for me to activate those crystals, and I did a good job.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Good. So being that you're in a light body, you're in a different position, and you'll be able to see all of the lifetimes that you've lived and you're going to live from that position. How are those skills, working with the crystals and the pyramids, going to help the lifetime of L? How can she tap into that lifetime, those talents and gifts?
She can activate things with her hands.
Mm-hmm. Is it just crystals or anything else?
She can use her hands to guide energy.
Mm-hmm. Take a look and see how the energy reacts to her hands.
Very heavy.
Mm-hmm. What is in that heaviness?
It's just like a build-up of energy in the hands.
Mm-hmm. So how can she release that energy now? What can she do to release that energy? Because if she's going to be using that energy in the future, she needs to know how to discharge that energy that gets built up. What can she do with her hands to release that energy?
I could use crystals on top of the hands and palms up, clear quartz.
All right. So I'd like for you now to show her. Imagine she has a crystal in her hands. And I'd like for her to use this imaginary crystal in light form to go ahead and begin to deactivate or to discharge all of that energy that's built up. Go ahead and do that now with the hands. Bring the hands out and let's discharge this. How does this look?
Sending the light up with crystal in the palms.
So each palm has a quartz crystal.
Yeah.
I'd like for you to take one of those quartz crystals from Egypt and put it in that hand, in each one of the hands. I'd like for you to notice the energy where it's going. And tell me how the discharge of this energy is affecting her body.
So it's going through the fingertips. It's going up. It's flowing up.
And notice as the energy is flowing out and up, what is that doing to her physical body? Has she had any accumulation of energy in anywhere in her body that's been affecting her? Scan her body. Where has this energy been accumulating?
Oh, since the feet.
Mm-hmm. Take a look and see what's happened to the feet.
It's almost like pins and needles.
Mm-hmm.
Or goosebumps.
Mm-hmm.
And the feet.
So I'd like for you to just focus on these pins and needles, this vibration in the feet. Is this energy hers, or does it belong to somebody else? What is this? Take a look and see.
It's mine.
Mm-hmm. So what is happening in the feet now that is causing this numbing? Look very closely at the energy in the feet. Is it moving?
Yeah, it's moving up a little bit, moving up the legs.
All right. Was it moving before?
No.
Mm-hmm. So now we can use the power of intention.
Mm-hmm.
And if you'd like, you can begin using those quartz crystals once again to move this energy. Where would you like to move the energy to?
Probably out through the crown.
All right. So go ahead and just tell me what's happening as you're moving the energy.
Mm-hmm. And out through the feet.
Very good.
Mm-hmm. So both.
Both.
Yeah.
Now, when we work with energy, we need to be responsible for that energy. Where are you sending this energy to?
Mother Gaia.
Very good. So I'd like for you to notice if you are receiving anything back from Mother Gaia as you release your energy.
Golden light.
Mm-hmm.
Spirals.
Very good.
Up.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So how is it that Elle can use this power in the future from Mother Gaia?
Using her breath.
Mm-hmm.
Allowing the energy to go through. Just flow through the body.
Just flow through the body.
Mm.
And we know that she can do this with herself. Can she also use this technique with others?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like a meditation, like a guided meditation.
Very good. Now she has been interested in learning Reiki, in sound healing and reconnective healing, and she'll be learning hypnosis in a few days. How can she use all of this learning in addition to her own talents and gifts of moving energy in order to serve others? How can she apply that learning to help others?
Well, the people who are in need and who are seeking help will find her.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Now, is there anyone who is assisting Elle in this lifetime? We know that she has that guide, that appears as a yellow light? Are there any other guides or angels or anything else that is assisting her?
Archangel Michael comes in mind.
All right. So I'd like for you to connect with Archangel Michael and find out what role he plays in her life. What does he help her with?
Decision making.
Very good. So it seems he's been very active in having her make these decisions of additional learning. Is there anything else that he has in store for her? Any other decisions that are on the back burner?
Not at this stage.
Not at this stage. All right, very good. Now, one of the things that she did learn not too long ago was QHHT. And she's had many, many failed attempts of these sessions. What has happened? What's keeping her from being successful? What's stopping her?
The sessions are quite limited. And she needs to meditate more.
All right, so she needs to meditate more in order to connect more?
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Now, in one of her altered states, in a dream time, she received a dream from Mother Mary. What was that message all about? How is she connected to Mother Mary?
It's a message of love and protection.
Love and protection. What was it that Mother Mary wanted to protect and love her for?
From the ache.
From the ache.
Ache of a child.
So her mother's love came into her dream to help her with this?
Yes.
It seems that Mother Mary has had her own aches about her child. Is that why she was connected to her?
Yes.
Very good. Is there anything that Mother Mary would like to tell Elle today about her own children? Perhaps it's just a knowing, a feeling.
The children are safe.
Children are safe. Very good. Now, one of the things about safety is when you go to sleep at night, and it seems that Elle has a fear of just closing her eyes and seeing something. She can't pinpoint what this fear is. Does this fear have something to do with this lifetime or another lifetime? Where is the origin of this fear? What we're going to do is I want you to go ahead and feel that fear now before closing those eyes. Be in a situation where the fear comes up. And I'd like for you to intensify that fear. And as you intensify that fear, you may notice changes in your body, in your breathing. And I'd like for you to just focus where that fear is coming from.
I can see a black shadow moving towards me.
A black shadow, very good. So I'd like for you to detach yourself from that body and see this black shadow as a spirit, both of you in the same space. And I'd like for you to identify what this black shadow is. Is this black shadow known in the lifetime of Elle? Does she know this black shadow?
No, but it's a bit aggravated, like it's upset or angry almost.
All right. So I'd like for you to go ahead and ask this black shadow why it is so agitated. What's wrong?
I think I hurt it.
You heard it. Did you hurt it in this lifetime or a different lifetime?
No, different lifetime.
Okay, very good. So let's go back to that lifetime now. I'm going to count from 5 to 1. I want you to recognize that energy and follow that energy to that lifetime. 5, going back through time to find the energy of this shadow. 4, drifting through time and space. 3, going deeper and deeper into the knowing. 2, allow the images to come. And 1, be there now. Where are you?
It's almost like a pub or stores on the main road.
All right. Do you have a body there?
I do. I'm a male.
So this
Probably in my 40s.
in your 40s.
And I'm arguing and I'm fighting with this man in a hat. And we're punching each other.
Who is this man to you?
Someone I met in the pub. And I stab him. Yeah, in this stomach, kind of. Maybe a little bit intoxicated.
So I'd like for you to go ahead and give this man, the spirit now, your voice and your words. And let's speak with this spirit now. Take a deep breath in. 1, 2, and 3. You there in the pub that's been stabbed. What is your name, please?
John.
John. John, what happens after this man stabs you? Where do you go? Are you lost, John?
I'm looking for revenge.
I'm looking for revenge. So I'd like to ask you, John, what will revenge do for you? Will it get you your life back?
Probably not.
Not. So I'd like for you to look at this soul that you're looking for revenge and tell me if you've known this soul in a different lifetime. Have you known this soul in a different lifetime? In the one that he stabbed you?
No, just the one he stabbed me.
Okay, very good. And I want you to tell me, John, what was happening in your life? What were you feeling at that time, before he stabbed you? Were you happy?
I had a family.
You had a family. And why were you in the pub and not with your family?
was just having a night out.
Night out. Very good. So when he stabbed you, it kind of ended that life. Did you know, John, that before you came into this lifetime, you knew when your life would be over? Did you know that?
No.
Look at that lifetime. Did you accomplish everything that you came here to accomplish? You had a family. So since you have already accomplished everything you need to accomplish, it's time to go home. Do you realize that this man stabbing you was your ticket home? Back to the light. Can you forgive this man for stabbing you? Not knowing that you had an agreement to go home at this time. So, John, I'm going to call in your guide, and I'd like for your guide to tell you why it was that you were stabbed. See your guide now before you. What does your guide tell you?
I was supposed to learn forgiveness.
You were supposed to learn forgiveness. But instead, John, you followed this soul to this lifetime to get revenge. Is that a way to learn forgiveness?
No.
No. Are you willing now to forgive this man now? The one who was going to come here to give you that lesson?
Yes.
All right. So I want you to go ahead. And I'm going to put my hand over your heart, John. And I want you to give me all of that pain that you've been holding. All of this time, wanting to get revenge. And give it all to me. And tell me when I have all of that horrible feeling that you've been keeping with you this whole time. Give it all to me.
Yeah.
All right. As I take it, I send it to the universe for healing. And now, John, in that place, what would you like to put into your heart?
Peace.
Let's put lots of peace in there. Fill your heart with peace. And now, John, can you extend like a laurel wreath to this man who stabbed you, who is now the soul of El? Can you forgive her?
Yes.
Very good. Take a deep breath in. El,
Yes.
can you forgive yourself for having brought on this experience into this lifetime, not knowing that this was something from a different life?
Yeah.
All right. So I'd like for you to go ahead and send John your love. Open your heart and send a beacon of love to John. And John, how does that feel from her?
Feels very warm.
Very warm. So I'd like for you now to look at your guide. And your guide will be taking you home. What does your guide tell you?
I'll link arms and off we go.
Very good. John, may the light of the universe always accompany you. Thank you very much. Very good. And now, El, I'd like for you to use those crystals and hold them in your hand and go into that place, your room, where John scared you. And I'd like for you to activate those crystals and send light into that room. And perhaps you can even put one in each corner and activate that room, lighting it up with peace and with love. And tell me what happens to that room once you place those crystals there.
It's filled with light.
Beautiful. How can we get this beautiful soul to begin to express herself more? What has been holding her back?
Anger.
Anger. Let's follow that anger. I'd like for you to intensify that anger and tell me where that anger is in the body.
It's the relationship between her and her father in this life.
Yes.
Just
Where is she holding all of that anger in her body?
she's released a bit, but needs to work on that a little bit more.
All right. So let's find out where this anger began. I want you to begin to follow the anger back in time. I'm going to count from 5 to 1, and I want you to find the origin of this anger. Just like when you plant a flower or a plant, there's always a seed, and we're going to go back to the seed that was planted, the seed of anger. Begin now on 5, going back through time and space to find the origin of when this anger began. 4, 3, following the anger, intensify it even more. 2, almost there. And 1, be there now. Are you indoors or outdoors?
Indoors.
Indoors. Are you alone or are there others with you?
There's my father. And my little boy. 3 or 4.
What's happening?
Just playing with toys on the floor.
So I'd like for you to listen to your name. What do they call you there?
Sam.
Sam. And what happens next, Sam? What happens next?
I'm being a little bit naughty, and my dad's getting angry and frustrated.
What does he say to you?
Just telling me off, telling me stop it.
How does that make you feel?
But annoyed. Just want to do my own thing.
So I'd like for you to go ahead and see your dad in front of you and tell him that. Tell him how you feel about him telling you this. Tell your dad how you feel. What happens next? What does your dad say next?
He's kind of rolling his eyes.
How does that make you feel?
Like, insignificant.
Where have you put this insignificance? Where have you stored that?
In my throat.
In your throat. So I'd like for you now to move forward in time and see what happens next. What happens next to this insignificant? What's the next event? How old are you there?
18.
18. What's happening?
We worked together, but he kind of belittles me.
Mm-hmm. And where do you put all of that belittling?
In the stomach.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So I'd like for you to just move ahead to the next event in that life.
Well, I'm in my 40s. He's getting old and frail.
And what have you done with all of this insignificant?
Well, I try to give it back to him. For not treating me right in the past, and as I was growing up.
How does that feel?
Not as good. And
not as good.
Not releasing, yeah.
So I'd like for you now to just release that body and see that life as spirit. And see that whole life as a whole. And notice the interaction between father and son. What has been accomplished with all of this belittling and making the other one feel insignificant?
Not much.
Not much. So what is it that you're going to be doing with all of this in the lifetime of Elle?
I need to release.
Have to release it.
Yeah.
Is there any reason why you need to keep all of this insignificant in your throat?
No.
And everything in your stomach? All right. Can you forgive your father? Now understanding it as a spirit, that this was the only way he knew to treat a son.
Yes.
Do you understand that this is the only way that you knew to fight back? Was to store this anger in yourself. Are you ready to release now?
Yeah.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assist you. I'm going to put my hand between your stomach and your throat, right over your heart. And I'd like for you to go ahead and begin releasing all of that anger. All of those feelings of insignificant, of being belittled, of being not good enough, not smart enough, not knowledgeable enough, not in the right position, not enough. All of this that was put into your soul. And I'd like for you to just release it and give it to me as I send it to the universe for healing. Tell me when it's all gone. Pull it all out. And now, instead of feeling not enough, insignificant, what would you like to place there instead to move forward now in life without anger? What would be good to put into that space?
Love.
Love. So I'd like for you to tell me what color you represent love in.
Pink.
Pink. So I'd like for you to go ahead and see that pink love flowing into your heart. And as your heartbeat, feel that pink flowing through the body into your throat, into your solar plexus, healing and sealing all of this space that was once filled with anger. What else would you need to move forward with all of this peace and love and confidence? What would you like to put in there? What else would feel good? Is there anything more?
Just mainly confidence.
And that's with all that confidence. What color is confidence?
Green.
Put all that green confidence. And as we flow that confidence in, you can imagine before you a spirit animal that represents confidence. What animal represents confidence to you?
It's a tiger.
Tiger, very good. So I want you to feel the feeling of the confidence of a tiger. And connect with that confidence and bring it into your body. And as it flows through, feel the confidence and the power of a tiger. That when a tiger needs, it will roar. And other times it will just lay back and be at peace. And I'm going to put that into your mind also. Very good. So as we scan the body, how does the body look now?
Oh, uniform. So clear.
It's all clear. Very good. So now that the body is all clear and we have the answers to the questions that she's brought here, why is it that you have brought Elle to this session? What did you need for her to know?
It's mainly for the confidence and the clearing.
Yes. And now moving forward with the gathering that she will be at and with those in her class, what does she look forward to in the next few days?
Just a lot of learning to apply to what she wants to do in her path.
Very good. Very good. Is there anything else that you would like to tell Elle today? Or are we complete?
Move forward in peace and love.
Very good. Thank you very much. Alert, feeling wonderful all over. Welcome back.
Thank you.
That was quite a journey, huh?
Yes.
Yeah? How's your body feel after releasing all this energy?
So it feels relaxed and heavy.
And heavy.
Yeah.
You did quite a bit, huh?
Yeah.
All that flying around, when you go back in your body, it's going to feel heavy. So how long do you think the session was? How did it feel to you?
Well, 40 minutes.
We are on almost an hour and a half right now.
An hour and a half.
127.
Is that the... that's
No,
not
no, that doesn't feel.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yes.
Pretty good. Does it make sense?
Yes. Yes.
It was a lot.
Yeah, there was a lot of back and forth, wasn't it?
Yep. The lifetime of Sabana in the pyramid seemed to be a very, very important one as you were activating the crystals.
Yeah.
And that's very significant in this lifetime.
Yeah, I could feel my hands when I was there. I could feel my hands here.
Yeah.
And it was kind of expanding.
Really good.
It was amazing.
So is this something you want to share or you want to keep private?
I'll share it if it helps. Yeah.
Yeah, you did really well.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. How do you feel?
Thank you. Good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Was this what you expected?
No, not really.
Okay.
No. I didn't think I was going to go under, actually. It was amazing.
Well, you know, you've had different experiences. You have been hypnotized before.
Yes.
You say. What method were you using before?
QHHT.
Okay. And you are a QHHT practitioner.
Yes.
And what else?
BQH.
BQH.
Yes.
So have you had a session like this before?
Never, no.
So what was the difference?
I feel like the main difference is because it's not scripted. It's very open, you know, it's really
Yeah.
it's you go back and forth without being so limited, and
Yeah. I don't use a script. I don't do QHHT at all. I may go through lifetimes, but that's like every hypnosis session. There's a way that you navigate, but I don't use a script. Every client really gets a different type of induction, and you're going to be going to learn next week introspective hypnosis. So introspective hypnosis is just more tools, different types of ways of getting people into hypnosis, and you saw today it was very, very natural.
Very natural.
Yeah.
Very natural, yes.
What I do and what we do in introspective hypnosis is that we do practice with the clients before we start, so that the client knows what's happening, what's going to happen. They can kind of put themselves into a trance. So that's really all it is. All hypnosis is self-hypnosis. Did you feel yourself putting yourself into that trance yourself?
You could feel yourself going deeper and deeper.
Yeah. So you'll be learning how to do this.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. And what about these past lives? Were you able to see them visually?
Yes. Most of them were really clear. Even before you asked me the question, I could just see it and I could just answer it straight away.
Wonderful. Yeah. And we did a little bit differently at the end. You noticed that I was expanding the visions even more. I didn't have to go through each stage. You kind of were getting the whole picture.
The whole picture, yes. Yeah. They'll just come, flow right in.
It just comes from, because you have like a knowing. You don't have to actually, it's not like a 3D world where you have to know everything in sequence. Once you are spirit, you see everything. You see things from like the big picture. You just know.
Yeah.
You just know what's happening.
Exactly.
And that was very interesting at the end where this anger was not about this life. It came from a different lifetime.
Yes. Yeah, yes.
Interesting.
The sun. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, we never know where this is going. You know, I never know where it's going. So do you recommend this to other people?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's just an experience you have to experience in this.
And how did you get this session?
How did I get it?
Yeah.
Oh my God. It was so hard. I was literally on my phone, you know, waiting for your newsletter. And as soon as it came.
And where do you live?
Jump in Sydney, Australia.
Sydney, Australia. Right now, this is being filmed in Queenstown, New Zealand. And I'm here a few days. By the time you see this, I'll be back home already. But I'm here a few days, and then we're going to go to Wanaka to do a gathering there and meet all those lovely people who are going to be there, and then we're going to do a class in Wanaka. And if you want to learn introspective hypnosis, just go to my events page. Right there we have one in Charlotte, North Carolina, happening in October. We have another one in the Netherlands, which I think may be sold out. And then we're going to be doing one in Peru, bilingual, in English and Spanish. And then we have one planned for California next. So if you're interested in one of those. But if you want a session with me, just go to my website, albaweinman.com, register for the newsletter. It comes out once a month. And like Elle was saying, you really have to be vigilant and quick.
Yes.
Okay? Because there's many of you on the mailing list, and there's very few sessions. And it's like a bottleneck. Everybody gets the newsletter at the same time, and whoever gets in first gets the session. And it is divinely timed. When you're supposed to be here, you will. And as you know, this was perfect timing for you to go to the class.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. And you're the fourth person that I see in the last 2 weeks that are going to this class.
Oh, wow.
No coincidence. No coincidence.
Amazing.
You'll be meeting everybody. So
Can't wait.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. And until the next video, thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Now I'll get that hug.
Oh.